You're watching Lansdowne ROAR, the voice of the fans. Join us this evening as me and Connor McAvoy catch up with Obig and find out about the latest speculation linking Finn Azaz with the move to Crystal Palace. And we also have a good look at the new women's national team kit. It's Lansdowne ROAR and it's live. How are you, Connor? You well?
I'm good. I'm very good now, Mr. Martin Prendergast. It's good to be on just with yourself. It all seems to be better streams without a certain someone involved, but I won't mention him, but something that he would say there's some suspicious activity going on in our chat these days, Martin. From very some unreasonable fans. We have, look at this statistic, 41% of people who watch our channel don't subscribe. I'm sick of it, Martin. I'm sick of it. It's almost as bad as watching Ireland these days. It's disgraceful. But just for anyone that is watching and doesn't subscribe, make sure you smash that because we're trying to get grow. And at the moment, we're sitting at 2,049 subscribers. So be the lucky 2,050th. And let's get to, I think, Martin, 2,065 by the end of the stream, which would be great. So just make sure you subscribe because I don't want to have to listen to Dave and his nonsense that he comes out with because I'm sick of it, Martin. I'm sick of it. Yeah. But how are you doing?
Yeah, good, thank you. I mean, it does make a big difference, lads, to the algorithms and all the kind of technical stuff with the trying to grow a podcast. And, you know, we are free as well. We've seen some interesting news with TalkSport Ireland launching today. And we hope that's going to go well, of course, for them. But, you know, we are bringing you a lot of input and information on Irish football, especially following Connor, my good friend there at Rep Tracker, to find out all the latest news. And we've been chatting off there just as we you know, just before the show there, and we were speculating, have a little chat about a new Irish player that I've been following now, who's at my own beloved Enfield Town, Cian Dillon, in action for QPR development squad this evening. I've been inundated with messages because I was chatting about him, obviously making his debut for Enfield Town over the weekend against Chippenham. He had a goal chance cleared off the line, controversially as well. You can find it on. We will actually retweet it. You know, very close chance. He got the shot in. And you've seen the net ripple, but it was a hand of a player as he was going back. And we weren't sure if it touched the player's hand. It should have been a penalty. There's speculation that it had gone across the line. My own son, Cian, was behind the goal and he confirmed it was behind the line. But I've looked back and I'm not 100% sure. But a really interesting debut for him, obviously, in National League South. So tonight he was in action for QPR's development squad, as I said, and he scored 2 goals, actually. They came from behind and won 3-2. So fantastic for him. And I'm looking forward to seeing him in action for Enfield Town over the weekend. Obviously a player that we're familiar with from the under-19s. So yeah, you can catch up with Irish players even in London close to me. So it's fantastic. And as Connor said, we are Irish football's most interactive podcast. We want to hear from you this evening. We want to make sure you subscribed, but we do want to get your comments, of course, and that's what it's all about. We want to hear from you. Nothing's off the table with us. You can ask us any questions if you want to talk about players you think should be in the Ireland squad. Give your views, of course, on the women's national team kit that was released today. They give us a wonderful video featuring Olivia O'Toole, and the girls are obviously modelling that. No, I think it's all right. The kit, home and away kits for the women's team, and also the training kit as well. And lots of speculation when the men's kit's coming out because, you know,
Martin, will I pull up the kit here for people to see if they haven't seen it already?
Yeah, get it up there then. Yeah, there it is, modelled by Katie McCabe. They're our captain. That's the training kit then on the left as you look at it, and Leanne Kiernan's modelling the one on the white as well. And a little bit of criticism already of the collar of the home kit. And I'll go again, it's still manufactured by Castore. We still have the Sky logo on it, and I've seen the same old arguments. We're the only country that's got sponsors on our kits. But still, it's there. I'm sure it's going to be very, very popular with a lot of the hardcore Irish women's national team followers who, you know, if they can get names on the back of the shirts, I'm sure that will be another popular idea that the FAI might want to explore with Castore because, you know, I think they do have a very nice kind of following, like the women's team. You know, a lot of youngsters following, a lot of young women are inspired by them, and I think getting your heroes' names on the back of the shirt, I think, is a very, very good thing to be able to do. So let us know your views on the kit. We've shown it up there. We're going to also be speaking about speculation linking Finn Azaz. I don't know if this is something that Connor did come over to London recently. A number of you might know, and we've done a brilliant podcast, a preview show for the before we went off to, before the lads went off to Plovdiv for the
So
Bulgaria
me and
away
Dave went
game.
off.
You and Dave.
You let your country down. You didn't go.
No. But at the same time, Connor now he's got the taste of London, the bright lights of London, and he's now, I think, going to be even more determined to get over again if Finn Azaz moves to Palace. This is the dream for him. So his boy Finn Azaz.
I don't think I'd ever say my dream is Finn Azaz to sign for Crystal Palace. I don't think I've ever said that. I probably don't know would, but it would be a good move.
Yeah. So again, as I said, want to hear from you this evening. The Raw Faithful are up to 280 odd views already, which is fantastic support again for Monday night. And want to hear your views on all these things that we're chatting about Irish football. We'll also have Obig, where we go through all the players. If you're a new follower of the pod or watching for the first time this evening, make sure you do subscribe first of all. But yeah, we go through all the players who are eligible for Ireland, who are playing quite regularly, to be honest. And what's quite interesting about that little video, we're bound to find some errors from Dave, who's not on this evening, but he kind of does a bit of executive producing, I would say, for the show. He thinks he's the main man of the show as well. He kind of loves himself a little bit. So if you do want to make a comment and give a bit of stick to Dave in his absence, we do know he watches because he can't let us just have a night on our own. He's a very jealous kind of fella. So, he's do give us a comments as well on that. And you can, of course, catch up with the back catalogue of Lansdowne ROAR. We're on YouTube, all the social media channels as well. Follow Dave at Lansdowne Road as well on Facebook. And we've got regular input on that and lots of latest news in Irish football. So we do want to hear from you this evening. Right, Connor, where should we start?
Would we give our opinions on this women's national team jersey first?
Let's go for it then. So let's put it up there again. I mean, that's the home kit. Obviously, pretty simple. The collars is a kind of new kind of thing. And I actually think I like the color of the away training kit. I think that's quite interesting as well. And the kind of tracksuit bottoms there. And again, even the badges, it was a long criticism for the Republic of Ireland. We have so many different badges over the years. And I think even the FAI, I don't think 100% used to patent them correctly and have the rights for them. And that's why you often see them around on different kind of kits and, new versions of classics and things like that. But on this one, it's pretty plain the green, isn't it?
Yeah, the home kit's it's just a bit simple. It's nice. It's usually you wouldn't really associate it with it. Sorry, the mic turned off there. 1 sec.
Oh, there you go. Still gone off there. So what enlighten us.
Sorry, Brandy, I'm having technical issues here.
A few technical issues here. Hey, look at this. This is it. I mean, here I am drinking out of me classic Legends mug. So we put the kit up there again. He's gone on mute there. But look, go on then, Connor. Are you back with us? No, still got him. Still got him off. I know you're back, I think.
No, but I think the home shirt's tidy. It's plain and simple. It's not really a color, I don't think, on a women's national team shirt is something we've ever really seen before. So no, it's nice. I think the away shirt's absolutely beautiful. I think it's top class. I think it's a really nice jersey. I disagree on the training top. I'm not really a fan of the luminously greeny color training top, but that'll do for a training top. But no, the home shirt's nice. You'd hope it'll go down well with fans of the women national team, and I think the away one should sell well. I think it's very, very nice. But I guess we'll have to see how the sales go. But you don't really know with jerseys until you actually see them in person or you see them on TV. People actually wearing them in a match if you actually really like them. Not because there's been a lot of jerseys in the past I've thought, no, they're not very nice. And then you see them being worn in a match and they actually look really well. I think Astoria's actually, a lot of the Ireland jerseys, you look at them and you think they're not actually that nice. And then you've seen the players wear them and you think, actually, that's quite good.
Yeah, the white jersey here, especially, I think that you can kind of see it on the picture there, but there's a kind of little kind of chevron-y kind of lines of kind of light green in it as well. So it's not just completely plain white. It's got kind of little pattern on it, which is quite nice, I think. And again, like you, I think when you see them up in the flesh, they're really that's when you kind of get a feel for the jersey and things like that. But I'm sure they'll be popular. I think the launch is, obviously it came out today, and we had a good video from Olivia O'Toole, and obviously the girls have been modeling it there. But I think it's on sale now the 2nd of April, and I think what some people will jump on the bandwagon is just that, why is it that date? I know they've got games coming up, so I suppose that's quite good. But I think you get criticism obviously after St. Patrick's Day, which is a big interest around the world in Irish kind of culture and everything. People should be able to buy the shirts there. Let's not forget Umbro, I think, brought out a shirt recently, just basically a Paddy's Day kind of shirt. And, the kind of jersey movement is really important, I think. The classic football shirts, obviously, our own friend at KitCon, Paul Bean, does a great job with that, promoting all the classic shirts. We were involved in that in November in the Cladder Ring and Hendon when we had the England Weekender. So, there is a market for it, and I think they've got an opportunity to get things right. But ultimately, the same things I'm seeing is like, why have we got Sky on a shirt? Why have we got a logo? But that's just a fact of it, sadly. That's it. You do have that. I can see a few comments as well. Just get to the players, chat about that. So, and I'm seeing I'm getting a bit of grief as well for my English accent, which is interesting as well. So that's all good. No,
good man. Good English man you are, Martin.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Should we go into Obig?
Oh, we're forgetting about Finn Azaz and.
Yeah, I was going to go Finn Azaz after. I was going to do the speculation about transfers and stuff.
All right,
go Finn Azaz early?
All right, we'll go through Obig first.
All right. Obig is where we chat about the Irish players. So here we go. A few videos coming up. So these are players who play for Ireland. Obviously, in goal, first of all, Caoimhín Kelleher, 32 caps. Wednesday, he'll be playing for Liverpool. Mark Travers, 90 minutes in a 2-1 win versus Oxford. Gavin Bazunu, a 2-2 draw versus Mechelen for Standard Liège. And Josh Keeley is playing Tuesday for Leyton Orient. And Max O'Leary played 90 minutes in a 1-0 loss versus Burnley. Anything interesting in the keepers there?
Kelleher won't be playing on Wednesday.
What's he on about then?
Because he doesn't play in the Premier League. He'll be on the bench, but he won't be playing.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, yeah.
All right. He should be saying,
eligible to play.
I know.
Is Allison now 100% fit?
Yeah, I think so. He went back early, didn't he? A concussion, but I don't think this was like a week ago or a week and a half ago, so I don't think it'll be enough to rule him. I think it's the Merseyside derby, isn't it? Wednesday,
it is, yeah. Yeah,
so I think they'll have Allison back for that game, but hopefully not for our sake.
Yeah. Hopefully Jake will put one past him even if he is in goal. Right, and now we're going to come on to the defenders. So we've got Matt Doherty is playing on Tuesday for Wolves, possibly. Jake O'Brien in action on Wednesday against Everton. For Everton, against Liverpool. Nathan Collins is playing Wednesday for Brentford, hopefully. Sarah O'Shea in action on Wednesday for Ipswich Town. James Bankwell was suspended for Watford over the weekend. And Jimmy Dunn, 90 minutes in a 3-1 loss versus Stoke for QPR. Robbie Brady, 90 minutes in a 3-0 loss versus Aston Villa in the FA Cup. Callum O'Dowd, 90 minutes, yet wasn't fit for Ireland in a 1-1 draw versus Sheffield Wednesday. And Seamus Coleman is eligible to play on Wednesday. Liam Scales, not in the squad for Celtic. And Shane Duffy, 90 minutes in a 1-0 win versus West Brom. Mark McGuinness, 90 minutes in a 1-0 win versus Hull City. Ryan Manning, playing possibly on Wednesday for Southampton. Andrew Omobamidele is out injured at Strasbourg. And John Egan, unused sub for Hull City. Erin Cashin, unused sub again for Brighton. And Anselme Garcia McNulty, 90 minutes 2-0 win versus RKC Walshik. And Will Ferry, 90 minutes 1-0 win versus Ross County. So that's the defenders. Are we counting Festi as a defender?
No.
Or he'll be in the attackers, won't he?
Is there anyone playing on Wednesday?
A few of them are.
No, but just put the no Premier League on. There's quite a few lads missing out. But no, it's
not a bad thing though. Recovering after the excerpts of exertions of the international.
Not against it. It's a pity not getting to watch some of the lads this weekend, but I guess we'll see them tomorrow on Wednesday. Just on a few defenders. I think Scales is just still out with that facial injury that he has. Like, there's no way he wouldn't have been on the bench, like, for Celtic. I know he gets a lot of slack, but not in that sense. O'Dowda, this is the second international window in a row. He's pulled out of the squad, Martin, and then is back for the first game back. Questions need to be asked there. Obviously, I'm not going to question. I'm not really going to question, but I know Dave will anyway. But it's disappointing, though, to see two international windows in a row that he's been selected for. That he's not there. Like, did you watch Preston against Aston Villa? I only seen bits and bobs of it. I was away for a bit yesterday, so I seen Brady actually had some very nice crosses put in, and he seemed to have a decent game. Other than that, defenders wise, I think Will Ferry is starting to really put himself in the window to make an Ireland squad in June, because it's something we have to talk about later, is the extra games possibly in June and an extended squad. And Will Ferry's been probably the best left back in Scotland this year. I put a post out earlier about his performance yesterday. Like, I have it here, Martin. He had 4 clearances, 6 tackles, 4 completed crosses. He won 12 duels, 1 interception, and blocked 1 shot. Like, not just very good defensively, very good going forward. And he's naturally a winger. He's a bit like the Robbie Brady type. He was a winger turned fullback, and he's more of the he'll knock a past you and go. So even if we had that, even we're playing Ryan Manning on the left wing, he could be an option. Obviously, we don't want that in the long term. But Ferry, I think Will Ferry will be a one and done type player at Dundee United. I think after this summer he'll move on to bigger and better things. Nothing against them, but I just think he's destined to play at a higher level. So no, I think he could be an option for June, especially at left back, since we're so weak in that position. But no, I don't think there's any other defenders really to add anything to.
And when you think O'Dowd's gonna probably let them down again, is that what you're saying, Connor? He's just gonna not make himself available in June.
Yeah, but
is that what you're saying?
Is he gone?
It's weird though, because like he's been in squads before, and he's missed a cut of the the 24th man being cut down to 23-man squad and things on the day, and you think he has kind of got in and been given an opportunity there, so it must be frustrating for him as well. But yeah,
because he played well against was England away. He played well, didn't he?
Yeah.
And then what was the other one? And he was due to start. Heimer said against the Bulgaria away game he was due to start where Ryan Manning was playing. That's why Ryan Manning came in, because it was like for like. So it's weird like that he didn't come in for one of the games anyway, because he would have played like, and he would have known. Heimer would have told him himself, because he would have had to explain to Heimer why he was pulling out of the squad. Like, so no, it is disappointing to see a player pull out quite regularly at this stage. But I'm not Dave. I'm not going to question his loyalty to the country.
Yeah, well, we will.
Dave's going to have a few shots at us now.
He is, I'm sure he is. Right, coming on to the midfielders. So Josh Cullen, 90 minutes in a 1-0 win versus Bristol City for Burnley. Jason Knight, 90 minutes in that 1-0 loss versus Burnley. So a nice derby between them two. Will Smallbone, possibly in action on Wednesday for Southampton. Jack Taylor, again in action possibly for Ipswich. Finn Azaz, 90 minutes in a 0-0 draw versus Luton for Middlesbrough. Mark Sykes, 72 minutes, 1-0 loss versus Burnley. Jason Malumbi, 86 minutes at centre forward versus Norwich. Andy Moore, unused sub for Stoke City. Jamie McGrath still out injured for Aberdeen. Alan Brown, 90 minutes as right back in a 1-0 win versus Millwall for Sunderland. Luca Connell, 90 minutes in a 1-1 draw versus Wigan for Barnsley. And Boaston Lowell not in the squad for Stoke, who were beaten. Connor Coventry, 86 minutes in a 4-0 win versus Huddersfield for Charlton. John Joe Patrick Finn, 17 minutes, 3-1 win versus Marseille for Stade Reims. And that is your midfielders. So as we've said as well, if you are watching now, just over 500 watching this evening, thank you for your support. Make sure you are subscribing, because as we've just seen there, chatting about Will Ferry, Connor gave you all the stats, all the facts, all the duels, expected tackles, all that kind of stuff, and you don't get that anywhere else. So do want to hear as well from you, the Raw faithful, this evening in the comments.
Legal watchers.
Yeah, please let us know who you saw over the weekend, or who impressed you, or who perhaps should be on the radar for Heimer come them games coming up in June. And we're going to go on to the attackers.
No, we're not. Are we not going to talk?
No, we're not.
We're not going to talk about the midfielders first.
Oh yeah, go on then.
No, I'm just going to say Stade Reims. There's some win for them against Marseille. I seen the Serbi had kept the Marseille players there overnight, at the stay at the training ground the other night for the loss. But no, obviously it was disappointing not to see John Patrick start, but to play anyway in that sort of game, it's still decent minutes. I know some people said he had a tough game. I didn't see it, but I've seen a few people say he struggled a bit. But I guess that's what happens when you're a young player. I put a tweet out the other day, actually, saying, I don't know if you've seen it, Martin, saying the Josh Cullen that plays for the plays for Burnley is a completely different person than the Josh Cullen that plays in an Ireland shirt. Night and day, he's absolutely brilliant for Burnley. He got man the match the other day against Bristol City, who are high flying in the championship at the moment, and he completely controlled that game. Jason Knight couldn't get a sniff of the ball. None of the rest of Bristol City players get a sniff of the ball. Sinclair Armstrong was just chasing loose balls over the top. It was just Josh Cullen dictated everything, and it's like, how do we not see this lad in Irish? I know international football most of the time is a higher level than Championship, but when you're playing against, I don't know, Bulgaria's midfield, they're not, other than Gruev, none of them players play at the level that Josh Cullen's playing at. So you'd wonder what it is in the Ireland jersey holds him back. I know people say about the weight of the jersey, but no, it's very frustrating. Probably, I think is probably the word to see him go back like that.
Yeah, but like we had a chat, didn't we, in the post window review about Josh Cullen and the midfield, I think, and I just think he's got a big responsibility with Ireland and a particular role to kind of play. And ironically, we were chatting about how it was side to side in the home game, but he did put some great balls forward in the away game, didn't he? So I know that
brilliant assist,
a brilliant assist, yeah. So it's there, but it's just if he gets the opportunity to do it, and I think he's probably a bit more cautious.
Maybe he needs the right partner. Maybe that's what it is. Or Ireland needs to play in a way that suits his style, because he is in a possession dominant team. That's when you see him really run the show. Like he's kind of that Jorginho type, number 6
at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah, they're that type of Scott Parker isn't playing. Like it's very robotic. It's very just possession based, and you'd see a lot of imagination go out of players. But it suits a player like Cullen. And just for a Dave moment, didn't Dave say that Middlesbrough drew 0-0 with Luton?
Yeah, he did.
And Mark Travers was playing for Middlesbrough against Oxford and won 2-1. Yeah. So I don't know how Finn Azaz and Mark Travers are both playing for Middlesbrough and Saturday in different games. It was Middlesbrough beat Oxford.
They came back, didn't they? They were 1-0 down, weren't
they? Yeah. Actually, was Mark McGuinness on that? Actually, Mark McGuinness got man of the match for Defenders. Got man of the match. Did he take him off? Is Mark McGuinness? Did he take Mark?
No, he's on it.
He
is on it. But just on Mark McGuinness, because he kind of was a kind of forgotten man a little bit. Was he injured for the last window?
No, he just wasn't selected.
Just wasn't selected, which is a strange thing coming out the back of giving him that opportunity in Wembley, and it didn't go well, obviously, for the team overall. But
he done all right. He done all right.
I thought he did really well. Yeah. And he actually went back. I remember the week after he went back for Luton and he scored the first goal that day because I thought he was great value that night. I think he was about 66 to 1 to get the first goal.
They thought. Maybe they just thought because of O'Brien coming back in, that's a direct replacement height-wise, and when you're playing at a higher level, you simply can't. No matter how well McGuinness done, he's going to take that mantle. And James Abankwah has been one of the standout centre halves in the Championship over the last 2 months. Yeah. Obviously, he got sent off in the last game before the window, but in terms of the level, and Luton are really struggling. They're in the drop zone, and probably the defender is going to take a hit of that, even though I don't think he's actually doing too bad. He got man of the match against Hull the other day, had a very good game, which is a huge 3 points for them. But it's funny that he's been left. He was left. I thought he might have still made the squad, but I think he went with 4 strikers over an extra centre half, which I don't mind. I like this. Good to see more and more attackers in. But we can probably move on to the forwards now before I finish. Keep ranting.
Right, here we go. These are the attackers. So we've got Troy Parrott, 81 minutes, a goal and assist in a 3-3 draw versus NEC. Evan Ferguson playing tomorrow, hopefully, for West Ham. Adam Eder, 90 minutes in a 3-0 win versus Hearts. Sinclair Armstrong, 60 minutes in that 1-0 loss for Bristol City versus Burnley. Mikey Johnson, 12 minutes in a 1-0 loss versus Norwich. Rocco Vata, 90 minutes in a 0-0 draw versus Plymouth for Watford. And Tom Cannon, 20 minutes in a 3-1 win versus Coventry for Sheffield United. Sammy Shimonik, sadly still injured at Ipswich Town. And Besti Abasele is back in training, but he was on the bench, and we'll talk about that a little bit more. Casey McAteer, Wednesday in action, hopefully, for Leicester City. Jadozi Ogbene still injured out at Ipswich. Callum Robinson not in the squad for Cardiff City. And Michael Obafemi, 79 minutes. We're not sure if he got injured. And a 0-0 draw versus Watford. Aaron Connolly, 90 minutes, 1-0 loss versus Millwall. For Millwall versus Sunderland. Seen a mistake there. Tyler Goodrum. What did he do?
He was playing against Middlesbrough.
He had Millwall, didn't he? There for Aaron Connolly. That's what threw me the error of Dave.
A few talking points there.
Yep. So Festi, do you want to go with Festi first?
Festi. Dave made this, just for anyone who's probably nitpicking at it. He made this, I think, 2 or 3 o'clock today. So he was on the bench for Istanbul Başakşehir tonight for the first time. Came on in the 90th minute. Ended up playing 12 minutes, which is all right. We probably would take at this stage. And I think there was 11 minutes added on, so we ended up playing 12. And no, it was great to see Festi back. I think we badly missed him that international window there, Martin, because probably the likelihood if Festi or Ogbene, because Ogbene, we probably rule him out until September. If Festi or Ogbene was playing or was available, they would have started 100% would have started at right wing in both of them games, like, and would have had Johnson on the left instead of having a left back. So he was badly missed, and like he's won the fans over from that one performance in Finland, and then the England performance was an even bigger, I think, standout moment, because the first half of that game he was probably the standout player on the pitch in total. But no, it's great to see Festi back because he's one that we love, and it's a new club, a new league for him, which is different. But no, I don't know if you've anything else to add on that, because a few to add on the other forwards.
Well, no, it was good to see him back, of course, and you know, we've seen him back in training. We were excited about that, so I didn't think he'd be back in action so soon. So that's brilliant to see. And yeah, like you said there, I think the balance from the games against Bulgaria, it's Mikey Johnson, you know, a little bit harshly kind of treated, I think, from the kind of post-match reviews or everything. I thought he did quite well overall, but you know, not his natural game on the right. I know he can play there, of course, as any winger should be able to do, really. But you know, I thought perhaps with the balance and everything else, I go back to that game where he did very, very well against Gibraltar out in Faro, basically, where he was brilliant that night on the left. So, yeah, we want to see him in his best position. And yeah, Festi, as you said, fan favourite now. So hopefully really going to be back in contention for June. Anyone else from the attackers of note?
Just that Potter spoke about Ferguson today, saying that the criticism has been very unfair on him. He said when he came into West Ham, it was literally at the start of his back into football fitness, and like it was not the time to bring him in, starting him straight away. So he said he's getting fitter and he's doing well in training, and he'll be a key part for the rest of the season. So hopefully he might play, I don't know, a half at least tomorrow, or hopefully might start, but you can never really trust it with that he'll come in and start after West Ham have been doing all right. I think maybe it was the standout performer. I know Troy Park got a goal and assist, which was great to see, because he hadn't scored in quite a while, actually, at club level in the league anyway. So it was good to see him, especially probably he'd be disappointed he didn't score for Ireland over the two games. So it was good to see him back scoring the weekend, I think. And Rocco Vata was, I don't know if you've seen that game, Martin, he was absolutely exceptional against Plymouth. Obafemi done well, in fairness, as well. We don't know whether he went off with a hamstring strain or whether it was a cramp, because he hasn't really played as much. But no, he done well, linked up well, and showed qualities that we don't see on a consistent enough basis from. But Vata I thought he was by far the standout attacker on the pitch, taking people on, doing he was made some outrageous passes, some crossfield passes that commentator said has possibly passed the season, and somebody slipped in behind, and then he has the confidence to shoot from anywhere, really, which I know with a young lad it can be frustrating probably at times if they don't go in or they don't go on target, but you can see as the confidence himself, shoots with left foot, right foot, hit the crossbar with one deflected effort. So no, it was good to see him get his first, because that was his first start in quite a while as well, since before he was injured, which I think was badly needed. And no, we've seen, I don't know who else we can really add on. Maybe Adam Eden not starting again for Celtic is, I don't know if people in the comments, is that starting to become a worry that he's continuing? I know he starts here or there, but it's kind of here or there thing with rotation, and like they're starting. I know Maid is a very good player, but he's not naturally a number 9, and Ede is constantly on the bench, especially even after scoring with Ireland. You think the confidence would be at a high, and no, he's just back to being on the bench, which is disappointing. Like, and but I don't think he played that many minutes, and it's probably must be frustrating for him. Like, his long term is Celtic really where you want to be if you're not going to be the starting number 9? Like, but like, where do you go from? Would he go to the French league or would you go to Italy? Because I wouldn't see him really going back to England maybe at this stage, unless he went to the Premier League. But he's not really going to go in anywhere and be the starting number 9 at this stage, because he's not scoring enough goals or starting enough games. Yeah,
for me, Ida's a little bit like, dare I say, like a little bit like Callum Robinson career kind of thing. I think he'll score consistently enough, but he's never going to be the main. But
he has a lot more. I think he has a lot more talent at that level than Ida does.
He does, yeah. Robinson does. Robinson, yeah. But I think that is the thing. I just can't see where he. I think he'll be like one of 4 at a squad and I think at a club, and when he goes for a dry patch, that's it. He's not really trusted. Then again, you know, like we see that with Callum Robinson even now at Cardiff. I know he wasn't in the squad over the weekend, but you just see that Even Obafemi as well. They go through little purple patches and do well, and that's where he has to find somewhere where he can consistently, for a number 9, score every week. I don't think you're ever going to have that out of him. Maybe a little bit longer. I mean, like Shane Long, I suppose, was another one a little bit like that, but then he did go for a burst of
but he always had the work rate and the hold up play, which Ida has, but we just don't see it. So it's just so hit and miss at times. Like with Shane Long, you knew even if he's not going to score, he's going to offer something in the game. And Ida has shown that at times for Ireland. Like even the other day, if you said his cameo against Bulgaria, even if he didn't score that goal, you still would have said he played very well when he came on.
Yeah.
But obviously the goal is obviously the icing on the cake. But no, it's just frustrating with Ida because he's so much talent and he could play at such a high level and do it consistently. And he's just not doing it at the moment. But hopefully, whatever way he can probably, I don't know whether if he can keep shushing people and scoring goals, I'll be happy. But hopefully he can take off from there.
Yeah. I mean, that's what we want to see, of course. I mean, we're going to go on now. Just before we get to your comments and keep them coming in, we will go through every one of the comments this evening because we do appreciate your support, of course. But we have got a bit of news as well on some fixtures that are coming up for the Republic of Ireland. They've announced that they're going to be playing against Senegal on Friday the 6th of June. It's a 7:45 kickoff at Lansdowne ROAR, Aviva Stadium. So that'll be an exciting kind of game, I suppose, to welcome them to Lansdowne ROAR. And I know the Senegal are in action, I think, again, playing against England and Wembley, so kind of double header for them. And then a few days later, we're off to Luxembourg again. Good fond memories of there under Stephen Kenny, where it was probably his best ever performance, the 3-0 win away there. But yeah, off to Luxembourg for an away game on the 10th, Tuesday the 10th of June. And obviously this is at the end of the kind of English domestic season. You know, Champions League finals on the 31st, FA Cup final, I think, on the 17th of May. You'll have playoff from the Championship. You'll have those games as well. Last week of the Premier League, I think it's the 24th. 25th.
Championship ends on the, I think it's the 3rd or the 5th or something.
Yeah, the Championship ends 3rd. Yeah, and then you have all the playoff finals, everything like that going on. So that's where a lot of the Championship players or EFL players, Irish players as well, are playing at that level, will be kind of going off on their holidays then. And then the plan is, I think the FAI are going to be calling them up, aren't they, for these kind of double header, of course, the friendlies. But there's speculation, isn't there, Connor, of a kind of training camp and behind closed doors games?
I don't know if they're behind closed doors. That's something I think Dave said in the group chat that he presumes, but no, but they're in talks with I think other countries or something about getting extra games in June. I think Heimer is very big on that, and it's something that he's trying to work on himself, I think, behind the scenes. So I don't know who they'd be against or what sort of opposition level, but you'd hope
that's where they might be behind closed doors. So, for example, if they were in a training camp in Portugal, for example, I'm speculating here, but they were at like a training centre. I mean, fantastic facilities, like warm weather training camp, which all the GAA teams seem to be doing this week, actually. But you know, if they were over there and other teams are doing the same, that's where they kind of get the squads together, don't they? And it's an unofficial friendly, or they kind of have an Ireland B team kind of playing as well, like sometimes have the under 21s, don't they?
I know it's meant to be really for the fringe players who are coming in. So I think you'd have a lot of very fringe players playing in the Championship, or even a couple, like I'd imagine, like the likes of Josh Keeley playing in League One, or even Connor Coventry would come in there at that stage. But obviously, you have lads playing in playoffs and stuff, which you don't, because we don't know whether it would be in May or whether it would be in June after the camps. Will be interesting. You probably hope it'd be in May, that it would give lads a chance if they're on the fringes of it and they really impress Heimer in that camp, they can come in June. But no, it's a great idea anyway by Heimer, because I think it's all his thinking and his forward thinking about getting the best possible squad to head into these World Cup qualifiers. And the only way really of knowing whether a lad really is good enough or not is seeing him in action and seeing him in the flesh and seeing him in the green jersey. I know if it's behind closed doors, it's still, there's a lot less pressure, but there'll be a lot of pressure on these lads coming in who would be coming in because it could be their one and only chance.
Yeah, I mean, look, we've spoken in the past, haven't we? You know, players have played in, like, Ireland underage teams have gone and played Leicester under 21s and things like that. There's a lot of underage football going on, looking at players, and obviously the rules of those kind of games as well are a little bit loose at times. You can play, you know, they might look at a 23-year-old or whatever it is. You can, you know, it's non-competitive really, in a sense. It's a glorified friendly. But you know, B internationals used to be quite popular back in the day. I remember going to Buckley Park in Kilkenny to see them a few times under 21s as well, and played Nottingham Forest famously a few years ago. So it does happen. And I think, yeah, it's important again for this kind of recruitment drive for Irish football. Heimer and John O'Shea, scouts as well, looking at Irish eligible players, that we do kind of cast the net far and wide and see and get some of these lads in, especially at the end of their kind of season, because, you know, they're going to be needed in the future, hopefully, or we might unearth a gem, I suppose. And just before we go on to your comments, we've got one other thing we want to have a quick chat about, and that is the speculation that Connor is moving over to London because Finn Azaz has been linked with a move to Crystal Palace. Right, talk to us. Tell us about this.
All I'm going to say is Finn Azaz is the best player in the world now. There was scouts of Crystal Palace. I know it was reported by the Sun, and then I made sure to get it double checked that they were definitely there. There was Palace scouts there on Sunday night. Yeah, it was Sunday night for the game against Bulgaria at home to watch Finn Azaz. And there was scouts of other clubs as well. I don't know who the other Premier League clubs were as well, but the interest in Finn Azaz is starting to ramp up because he's just a top player, isn't he? And what he's doing for Ireland, and it's tough to come into an Ireland team and really make an impact, which a lot of lads really struggle to do. He himself had struggled to do really until this international window was really put a stamp on the Ireland team. But I think he really came out of that window as a standout player, and the player that was hopefully will fill the void in a number 10 spot for the next couple of years at least anyway, because he has everything to be a top player. Like, he's brilliant with both feet. He can pick up the ball, go past one or two men. He's not lightning quick. That's the only thing that really holds him back, I think, from being maybe a top 6 player, is he doesn't have that freakish, no, not even freakish athleticism, just like very good athleticism. But in terms of his football and ability and his football IQ, he pulls off some passes that other players simply don't see. And we haven't even seen yet his ability of shooting from long range, which could be something that will be an asset to Ireland. But Palace would be a huge step up from Middlesbrough. Like, it's still a big step up going from the Championship to the Premier League. And we've seen it even a next teammate of his, Morgan Rogers. Well, they didn't play together at Middlesbrough, but at underage level, West Brom, I think they played together. But Morgan Rogers went from Middlesbrough to Aston Villa, and I think no one really everyone thought Morgan Rogers was a brilliant player and he could do well in the Premier League, but no one thought he'd end up going into the Premier League and be one of the best number 10s / drifting out to the left and making England squads, and I think at this stage looking like a start to make the England squad for the foreseeable future. So you'd hope that Finn could probably go to Palace, go to the next level. They've a very good manager in Glasner. Maybe they might, sell Adam Morton in the summer and then invest some of that money in Finn Azaz. But it would be interesting because you don't know whether Palace will be the move or whether it'll be another Premier League club or even further afield, because he could easily go to another top 5 league and with his technical ability tear it up. Yeah.
No, I mean, it's one that we'll obviously follow now, and soon enough the season will be upon us and the players will be out of contract and the speculation transfer window all opens again and it all goes round, and obviously we want to see these players playing at the top level for us because it does impact us on obviously internationally. We're going to come on now to your comments, so thank you for your support this evening. Make sure you have subscribed, and we'll get through all these comments. Thank you for your input again, as I said, and here we go. Right, so a lot of you chatting away in the very excitedly in the group, which is fantastic. Thank you again. Any League of Ireland chat straight away from Finn?
Fionn.
Connor.
Fionn, you mean?
Fionn, sorry.
But the League of Ireland chat will be back tomorrow. Me and Dave will be recording our League of Ireland podcast tomorrow, so we try to keep this one to just the general biggest topics in Irish football and the lads playing abroad, because there'd be too much to go through if we were doing all at League of Ireland all at once. So our League of Ireland will be tomorrow. Just on the most recent comment there from Celtic Symphony, is this live? Yes, we are live. But you can go back to the next comment now.
All right. Yeah, of course we're live. We do a live show every week where we want to get your interaction, your comments, your feedback. So yeah, that's what we hear from you. And obviously we do other shows as well. We've also got a fantastic website, Lansdowne ROAR.ie, where you can look at all our latest articles as well. I did a one about looking back at March 1991 when I was a wee boy of 11 years old going to Ireland versus England at Wembley. And a lot of people actually commented and reminded me, some family members, that the old Wembley was a pure shithole, basically. And it was very true that when you walked down the staircase after the game, you were literally walking through puddles of piss. What great days in the National Stadium of England.
Your National Stadium.
In my National Stadium, yeah. But we've also had a wonderful article out today, which is from James Agnew, one of our fantastic writers. And that is chatting about the top 5 Irish football kits. And that was obviously in the midst of the release of the Ireland kit for the women's national team today, which have just shown up on screen. We had a chat about earlier. And you can, of course, get this show back on audio afterwards and be able to look back at it on YouTube as well. So we do.
And I think, Martin, whilst we have more viewers on now, we mentioned this again about these illegal viewers watching our channel at this stage. It's disgraceful. Yeah. It's disgraceful. 41% of people illegally watching us, and I'm not happy, Martin. I know Dave's very not happy, but I like people I like people making Dave unhappy, but no, in this context, I agree with him. And I think you should just subscribe or else.
And like it, yes, subscribe, and also tell your friends, tell 5 people how good it is. And if they're into Irish football, tell them that this is where you get the latest news on ticketing. We do a fanzine for away games. We're going to do them for home games as well. We've got everything covered on Irish football. And obviously we've got the fantastic rep tracker there himself, in the know, knowing everything about Irish football, all the players coming through. And so well worth a follow, because, you know, as I said at the start of the show, we saw that Cian Dillon scored for QPR, a double there today, under 19 player playing at Enfield Town, who is a team close to my heart. But I was getting messages about that, but I'd already seen on Rep Tracker where Connor was letting me know that he'd already scored. So before, that's where I get my news. So there you go. Here's one for you as well from Kieran Leog. Why isn't Joel Bagan a name more talked about left back? Also, who are some players who could be the left back during the World Cup qualifiers? Ume Murphy, Cashin. I'd be concerned if it's still Brady. Connor?
I don't know what Joel Bagan, because he's played a lot on the back three as like a left centre half, but he done well for Ireland a couple of the last campaign for 21s, the one before that at left back. And then he went out and loan to Belgium, I think it was, and he didn't do overly great. But no, he is a good player, and I think he probably will just need to kick on a little bit more. I think he needs to just stand out more in that Cardiff team. But maybe by the time the qualifiers come around, he might kick on even further. I think Franco Uma will end up probably being a left back in the long run, or be a left wing back. But I think with injuries this season, I think he would have got a chance at Palace already this year. He definitely would have made his debut. If he didn't get injuries, and he was due to go out on loan. I think St Mirren was the club he was about to go on loan to, but he got injured on the last game. He played for the 21s at Palace. Murphy, I think, I don't know yet. I don't think yet, because he's playing in League One at the moment at Bolton. I think he's still long term. They probably see him as a centre half, and the same with Cashin. Other left backs, maybe Will Ferry's probably another one that I was talking about earlier that could break through. I don't know by the time the World Cup comes around next summer if Brady or if O'Dowda will be in the squad, because you just can't, especially with Brady's injury record. And I think one more injury, big injury at this stage, could be the last turning point of his career. So it's hard to know really. Left backs, Theodore Mola, I think, could be a top player. Obviously he's only on loan at Bradford now in League Two, but he's completely tore the league apart, and I've seen people say he's the best left back they've ever had, that they've ever seen. Obviously, that's not going back when they were a Premier League club, but in terms of the modern times. So I think he could still be a top player. He just needs to get to the right move after Bradford this summer, whether it's maybe he might have to go on loan again to maybe Bradford next season, because it seems like they're going to win League Two. And then Sean Rowan at Lincoln, he'll probably be a championship player next season, so he could be an option. But I think it's still a position we need someone to come really grab hold of the jersey, because it hasn't. But it gives probably lads confidence that they can break through.
Yep, fantastic. Yeah, great answer there as well. Because it's like you ask you about 3 players and you come up with about 10. So yeah, I was thinking it's a problem position, but you know, we seem quite blessed there. Finn Thorpe, watched the today and Morehouse a couple of days ago. I saw this actually myself on Twitter. Morehouse especially was rated. They are better than what we had versus Bulgaria. Morehouse will be 20 in September, and he needs to be in the squad. Looks like he'll be in United soon. Thoughts on that?
I don't disagree. I think to say already, I think it's a bit harsh.
Yeah.
But
they have to develop at their own age though as well, don't they? Some of these players.
Like Jacob Devaney was only playing in the FA Youth Cup tonight. Obviously, there was a semi-final, high standard. It went to extra time. I'm trying to find out here what actually the score ended up. Did it go to penalties or not? But no, he's captain actually of Man United under 18s. Very good player. But still, you still need to get into first team football. Like he's not even an under 21 international yet. So, and then Morehouse obviously has been absolutely brilliant for United under 21s this season. He's clearly impressing Amarin because he's making the bench at times, and he had a very good debut for Ireland against Scotland. Probably would have liked to see him get on the ball a bit more, but I think that's just the debut, or it was his international debut, so probably a bit of nerves there. But no, Morehouse could be one probably to break in. Could end up being a senior international very soon if he continues to develop at the rate he's going, because he's someone that really struggled over the past few years with injuries, and he really wasn't getting the credit he deserved, or wasn't getting the hype, you'd probably say, because of being missing so much time. But no, I think Devaney's still a few years off because he's a year. He's 2 years younger than Morehouse, I think, and he's still eligible for under 19s next year for Ireland. So I think give Jacob Devaney time to develop. I think Morehouse is more, could be, you could see him break in hopefully, but you just don't know when lads.
And the under 21s, are they in action June?
They'll have friendlies in June, but nothing's been confirmed yet for them yet. So I don't know who
that's possible as well, though, because I know that in the past, like the FAI have kind of brought in under 21s, haven't they, to have a look at them in the senior squads, make up numbers and training and stuff. Would they have home games at the same time? So
there's a penalty shootout. That game's going to, if anyone's wondering.
All right, okay,
it's finished 1-1.
Oh, nice. And we're very popular here at Lansdowne ROAR as well. We've attracted a following from all around the world. We have viewers in America, of course, Irish fans there. Big warm welcome to you. We'll come to some of your comments soon. But also we've got Rumen Radkov, who I think was on a previous show with us. Hello, heard about you guys' channel when I travelled to Aviva to watch Ireland and Bulgaria. Excited to listen tonight from my flat in Dublin. So welcome, Rumen. A comment from Nick here. Why isn't Bosun even making this match day squad with Stoke? This is a frustration for us, isn't it, Connor? Big Bosun fans. I saw actually a bit of criticism of us earlier. When we talk about Bosun kind of so much, someone actually said, someone commented on a post earlier saying we've got, I can't let you away with it, Connor, I think was to paraphrase, that we keep talking about Bosun. He's not the answer. He'd be getting in at Stoke if he was. I think it was I can't remember, Felix Unger. It was on a post that was on Lansdowne Road earlier when we were chatting about our show.
And I didn't want
to take notice of some of it, do we? We only like the love.
No, I don't. Any negativity towards players I love, no, it doesn't count. Never happened. No, but it's just it's so disappointing, Martin, because it's such so high hopes for the season coming into Stoke, and then the medical issue, and then struggling to get back fit. And I still think he's still struggling to get back fully fit, because I think when he got injured, I think it was very hard for him to stay at a lean body weight, because whatever way it was the back injury. When you have a back injury, you can't do anything at all. He wasn't just getting fit; he was trying to get himself back to fully lean, proper lean. Because a lot of players, when they get injuries, obviously they can do stuff on the bike and stuff, and I don't think he was able to do anything really. So I think this season is just pretty much a write-off for him. I still think he should be getting a chance to Stoke, even not at fully fitness, but they had a big win at the weekend. Hopefully, maybe I think the only way he might get a chance towards the end of the season now is Stoke keep winning a couple of games, and then by the time the end of the season, or by maybe the last 2-3 games, Stoke have solidified staying up, and then they give Boston a chance then. But it's so frustrating. Hopefully, if Mark Robbins stays there, hopefully he gets a move in the summer, because the thing is, loads of clubs will still want Boston because they've seen what he done last season, and he still has so much talent, and it's just frustrating at this stage. It's annoying because he should be in the Ireland senior squad, and just because of his no luck, he hasn't got that chance to happen this year.
Yeah, I think if he gets back, he could be one that benefit from that June window. If he gets fit and they bring him in, then I think that will kind of, sometimes that can happen as well. Players can come into, not have a very good league season just for various reasons, injuries, show them what basically they can do in a less pressurized environment, not on the back of playing for their clubs, and then they just see a glimmer there and think, actually, we'll have them in now, and it kind of
because there's going to be huge pressure whenever he gets his chance to Stoke, because all their fans are constantly going, Commons, where's Boston? Why is Boston not playing this? I can't believe we spent 3 million, because 3 million is huge money for Stoke. I can't believe we spent all our budget on this lad and he hasn't even played this and that. So there's going to be a lot of pressure on him coming in whenever. So I think if he is fit enough to come in June, or even in that extra games, I think you have to bring him in just to get him in, get his confidence back. I think is a big thing, because I think his confidence has been heavily affected this season, and hopefully he can, because I think even if he wants to, he could be the type, he could be dying to get out of Stoke, and maybe if he can get out of Stoke in the summer, it might do work, especially even if he gets. Yeah, you'd think, but probably that'd be League One. You're like, oh, you don't want to see him League One after he's shown he's a level above that, but maybe he might have to drop down to show it. But maybe if he had come in June, Ireland played them extra games, has a good couple of extra games with Ireland, it might help revitalize even more interest in him. But Boston will be just all right. It's just about a matter of when, not if.
Yep, and that can happen with injuries. Look, we see Chidozi's out as well, and looking forward to when he's back as well. So right, we've got some couple of questions about the kit. Any idea when the new men's kit will be released? From day 52, and Jason Fitzsimmons, long time supporter of the show. I see him quite a bit at Island Games. Welcome again. Thanks for your support, Jason. Hi lads, with the new jerseys and training gear out for the women's team, do you reckon the lads will wear the new gear come qualifiers, or will they get a new design kit and training gear? I would speculate that they'll get new stuff completely. Maybe the training gear will be something that's kind of across both men and women's, but I think it will be a new kit for the men's, and let's see what they come up with. It's often done around the windows, isn't it, as well, because they can use the opportunity to bring the players in, do the kind of video footage and things like that. And I wouldn't be surprised if they've already got it all agreed, but just to come out in June. And I think it wouldn't be a bad time to release it in the summer, get the kids wearing the kit if they can afford it, and make it priceable make it at the right competitive price. We want them in those kind of kits rather than Argentina, Brazil, everyone else. PSG,
Sadio Mane jerseys, Liverpool jerseys when we play Senegal.
Yeah, we don't want that. So they should do a big launch and give a discount for like 2 days to get them sold and make loads and loads of them. That's just my view. We've got Roman Radkoff as well saying he's going to subscribe and leave thumbs up. So look, that's a international viewer for you. So if you are an Irish fan, don't let him embarrass you. Make sure you do the same. And we've also got Celtic Symphony. Hi Connor, hope you're well. Just realized I wasn't subscribed. He was one of our illegal viewers, so he's now accepted. Just do check that with your YouTube if you are watching it on YouTube. Make sure you have actually subscribed, because then you get notified of all the shows. Helps us with the algorithms. You get the first notification of when we're.
And if you're watching on Twitter or Facebook, take a little spin over to YouTube and drop and subscribe.
Yeah, definitely do that. And if you're struggling to sleep tonight, head over to Lansdowne ROAR.ie. Check out some articles there from our wonderful writers group as well on all things Irish football. There's post-match reviews of the Irish, obviously, games against Bulgaria, talking about players who were playing. There's nostalgic pieces as well, and obviously the one about the kit from James Agnew today as well. So, right, Jack O'Connor, Azaz to Crystal Palace, LOL. His underlying numbers are nowhere good enough for that. Any decent Premier League scouting analyst takes one look at him and knows Championship is his ceiling.
Good. He made a very racist comment about Finn Azaz later on. So
okay.
Talking about Israel, and I think that's the point we need to make, Martin. We do not care about politics on this channel at all.
Yeah.
And just because he has an Israeli background at some stage, I don't know how far back goes, because I know his father is from Cork. I seen last week his father's from Cork, and his great uncle or his uncle was Barry Murphy, legendary Cork hurler. So people can go away with that.
Jimmy Barry Murphy, was he?
Yeah, I think it was. No, it was one of the Barry Murphys anyway.
Oh, right, yeah.
And I think it's just ridiculous, people bringing up this nonsense about Israel and Palestine with Finn Azaz when it's nothing to do with him whatsoever. Just because someone might have Jewish blood doesn't mean they are a fan of what's happening out there. So no, I think it's ridiculous, because I think that's just a I think that's just that underlying thing, because I'm sure
Yeah.
you see the comment later down there, Martin. Because it's
Yeah,
just
yeah. I
ridiculous.
mean, look, no need for that as well. Like, look, we were open to comments and, up for a bit of crack as well, of course. And we do obviously take abuse from you lot. Obviously, when you're
We would have
criticising.
took that. We think is we would have took that comment seriously if you
Yeah,
didn't make
yeah.
that comment further down the
Yeah,
line.
later on,
But,
yeah.
but it
Which
just
again, but
doesn't
like
read well.
we're open to you. We haven't got the big super duper production team behind us, so we're reading these comments as we go, and we're open to reasonable comments, obviously, that can obviously promote the show and promote debate and chat and have a bit of crack, obviously watching it all. But do keep it clean and keep it
about
decent,
football.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless you want to ask
No
Martin
need.
how come he.
Well, this is
English.
it. Look, nice to see you guys have an English accent. English scout based in London on the show tonight, despite the rival between the two of you. What's your opinion on Tuchel, Mr. Englishman? I don't know who that is. Does he know that? Is he counting where you're living? I don't know.
I live in the Republic of Ireland, mate.
All right, okay, there you go. So I live in London. There you go.
Tuchel fan.
So yeah, Tuchel, no interest at all. Here we go, Jason Fitzsimmons. Umbro allowed people to add names and numbers onto the kits through Elveries. They did, yes, that is something they did do for a while. And I remember years ago, actually, when Brazil came, 2003, 2004, maybe. Yeah, you could get really nice. There was a lovely shirt that actually got John O'Shea on the back of my one, number 3. Really cool, long sleeved. Something classy about a long sleeve jersey as well. Yeah, still one of my favorite ones. But yeah, they were printing them in the little shop there next to the old East Stand, in the Aviva. So in Lansdowne Road.
Just to let you know,
Lansdowne Road.
Aston Villa have beat Man United in the FAU Cup semi-final, just for someone. Jacob Devaney obviously knocked out, but Ireland under 19 or under 18 international Keelan Quinn, whose father is from County Tyrone, scored in the shootout for Aston Villa. So he moved from West Brom in the summer to Aston Villa. I think it was £1 million he went for in the end. He turned, I think it was 16 or no 17 he would have been. So no, at least we still have representation from Ireland in the FAU Cup final, and it's good to see him scoring a shootout, because at that age you don't want to see anyone missing.
No, exactly. Yeah, fantastic for Villa again. What a weekend they've had, Villa fans. So well done to them. The collar on the home kit looks too big for my liking. And just the context of this is the new women's national team kit, which was launched today. There's a photo of it up there now. And that is the view of Grego Lockie. The collar on the home kit looks too big for my liking. And yeah, it's a bit unusual that. And also the color, I think, is a little bit off. I'm not sure about that as well. But yeah, thank you for your view on that. That's just a chat about Ronan Kilgannon just saying hi, Jack, and this is into Jack O'Connor. Azaz is quite good at football, so he can play. And Willie Motley also says, can you just chat about the players or get to the players? Ruman from, I assume, Bulgaria, living in Dublin. Why is there an English bloke on this show talking about an Irish kit? But thank you for watching.
I'm so sorry.
It's really, yeah, it's really appreciated that you're watching an Irish football podcast. We welcome everybody. Jason Fitzsimmons, I really like the away jersey and the half zip. Yeah,
I haven't seen the half zip, or I probably have, but imagine the half zip is that luminously color.
They go for this, don't they? They went for the light kind of green the last time. I like that. But there's only so many. Well, 40 shades of green we have, don't we, Connor? and I do like. Remember the Umbro shirt that was inspired by the Fields from I don't know.
Which one?
One of
the orange one,
the JC ones. Yeah, do you not remember that?
The orange
the
one,
the one with the kind of
Bene one in Luxembourg one. The last time we wore.
That's
it was a nice jersey. In fairness, there's not a lot of people going with the orange color.
It was inspired by the Fields.
Yeah.
Dean Flood, Liam Scales summer move. Could that be happening?
I don't think he's ever going to get back in a Celtic now anymore, to be honest. I think his days of start there could be numbered, but no, you'd hope not. He proved people wrong before. Hopefully he can prove people right again. I don't know, would he stay at Celtic as a backup? Probably, but I don't know.
Yeah, and then our friend Ruman again, who's really upset at me this evening. Why is Callum O'Dowd on his slideshow? He's nowhere near the quality you guys need at all. But
opinions?
Seasoned international. This is a Dave account, isn't it? That's a rogue Dave account. A bit of sense here from Declan Finnegan. Fantastic supporter from
you spiced up his second in.
Listen, Deck knows his stuff. He's been keeping me in the loop here on Kean Dillon scoring for QPR. Great first 45 for Robbie Brady yesterday in the Preston North End versus Villa Cup game. So yeah, that is Robbie Brady, who Dave from our fellow producer of the show, he said about 3 years ago should never play for Ireland again. He tried to retire and tried to do what Martin O'Neill did to Glenn Whelan. Dean Flood, starting to think Burnley Josh Cullen and Ireland Josh Cullen aren't the same people, but twins who swap in and out. That was something you said earlier as well. Nick here, think John Patrick will start in the cup game on Wednesday. I think that might be a question.
Hopefully, a semi-final. It's a semi-final, isn't it, against a lower tier opposition? So hopefully he might start. You hope because he was starting regularly, and it was obviously the last game he did start against Marseille. So no, you hopefully start. Hopefully Ike Razi's on the bench, because I don't know if you've seen that cameo he had against Germany for the under-19s. He was absolutely outrageous. He's such an unbelievable talent. So we don't have talents like him that come through all that often. And I'm obviously Stade Reimer in a relegation battle, so it's probably affected his chances of getting meaningful minutes this season. No, he's a top talent. Hopefully he'll be on the bench, because you'd hope that Rem will comfortably win, but you never know in a cup semi-final. But I think they're at home. I need to check. I don't want to set in two. I don't want to set in case I'm wrong, but you'd hope that they'll win on Wednesday. Well, obviously, I think is it Cannes they're playing, I think
and that'd be another, because Jacob Ryan, was he in the French Cup final last year?
Yeah, he scored actually against PSG, but they lost, I think 2-1. But no, hopefully John Patrick can get to the final, and hopefully Arazi can get there with him.
Amazing to see. Jack O'Connor with a sensible comment here just about football, which is fantastic. Evan Ferguson is €100 million striker in waiting. Body build is unique. Ramrod straight with knees that bend close to the ground. Ball striking, passing range, and potency in the air. The complete profile. There you go. That's what we want to see. Winston Morrison, Azad can't hang in the Prem, man. He's a meaty athlete.
That's some London slang meaty.
It's not for me, that. Willie Motley, Ebasele got a few minutes off the bench tonight. Yeah, we spoke about that earlier. Fantastic to see. Nick Obafemi was pretty good against Watford. He got injured, did he, around the 79th minute, we think?
Yeah, he did.
Again, he's one, isn't he? Just needs to play more.
Frustrating. He's like Ida, and he's like that sort of profile where you just think there's so much more in him. And ever since that Swansea, like that 2022, when he scored that goal against Scotland, we all thought this was our man, this was our number 9, and just hasn't kicked it on. Like, I don't know what it is, but it's so frustrating because he's such a talent. And he shouldn't be playing with Plymouth. Like, no disrespect, Plymouth, but then he's making it look like he's not even good enough for Plymouth at times. So hopefully he's not injured and he can keep going to the end of the season and prove that he is a quality player. But you just don't know with him.
We have Jack O'Connor now. A little bit of a chat now about Zeffy coming up, so I'm going to fly through these comments. I have a confession. I don't rate Zeffy like that. Seen his qualities, but he strikes me as mentally inconsistent, someone who is not always in the game. Then follows up with, but maybe I need to see him play football first. And Winston joins in. Zeffy's cold. Greg O'Lockey. As far as I'm aware, Zeffy isn't even getting much of a look in with the Roma under 19s. And then there's a little bit more of a follow-up. That's fine, Winston, but it's important to note the league is stronger than the championship. He's also second in the league. Oh, is that about Troy Parrott, is it? Okay. Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah. I got a bit carried away there with me production. Right, Zeffy, what's the latest? Anything?
No, latest. He's he wants to leave Roma, so I don't know why that's affecting his start. He was suddenly playing really well, and then he asked about going on loan or leaving and to stop starting him. But he was trading a lot with the first team this past week, and thing is, they only bring up a certain amount of players, I think he was only one in some of the days playing from the Primavera team. So he's very highly thought at Roma, but he just needs to get out of there because long term it's not his progression. It's not staying in. It's Roma's. It's under 20s is the age group for Primavera. So no, he needs to get himself out of there.
All right. And then Winston also says Troy's doing bits, but that league is so poor, man. He's underperforming. His XG though needs to fix up in front of goal. And Jack talks about this. That's fine, Winston, but it's important to note the league's stronger than the championship. He's also second in the league in half space zone threat, only behind Noah Lang. Oh, this is brilliant. It's all this This is just watch the game. Don't take any notice of stats and stuff. God, what's going on? I'm too old for this. Jesus,
I don't know if
Connor,
he's
what's
taking
going on?
what has to be a zone threat is like. That's one I haven't seen before, but no. I actually could have seen that come down and I looked up his XG. And his XG is a 13.5 and he scored 13 goals. So he's underperformed his expected goals by half a goal. So I don't think it's that he's acting like it's underperforming it by a lot, but like you'd obviously think he'd overperform it, but nothing major.
Okay. And this is from Frank.
One
Frank
above.
O'Connor.
One above.
Oh, sorry.
Baylor. Did he?
Sorry, Baylor. Yeah. Connor, why didn't you post about the Irish lads scoring against Rangers?
I did. Joe Shaughnessy scored against Rangers. I did because I posted, I think it was at halftime. I posted because they ended up losing 4-3. Joe Shaughnessy scored the goal to put them 2-0 up, and then he scored an own goal to make it 2-1. And I posted that at halftime about him scoring and then scoring an own goal, so and then Rangers came back.
So you did post. You did post then. So
I did
don't
post,
doubt you. Don't doubt you. Don't doubt Connor.
Thank you, Martin. Thank you.
And then Frank O'Connor here, good friend of the show, travels over from California to Irish games, was in Bulgaria as well, met Heimer, and this is where let's pick that name off the floor, Frank. Yep, Heimer mentioned a trip to the US, but nothing final. There you go. Good shout out there. Good
if we got a trip, Martin, if we go to the US in May, are you going?
To get the sponsors in, don't we? You know, the road trip. Amazing. We're going in. Well, look, I don't know. I don't like to go on holiday 2 years in a row, the same country. And that's what I'm going in 2026 already. So, you know, that's the thing, Connor. I don't know. Would it spoil it for the World Cup?
I went to America last summer. Would it be 3 years? I don't want to do 3 years in a row.
Yeah. We're going to be
if
there.
we could go to Canada, we could go to Mexico next summer. So you could.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So we don't want to, but yeah, that's it. Yeah. We're there.
That'd be class.
I'm very confident.
Also, if we went this summer, if we had something to put.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah.
Where's all our sponsors? Come on.
Yeah. You do want to see us. And just something again about the show. You know, we're completely free for all our Raw faithful. We give all the latest news on Irish football. You can see the great job Connor's knows everything about Irish players coming through. We've got fantastic connections within the FAI. Get some news about players.
Within the FAI? I have no connections within the FAI. What are you all about?
You write in the match program. Don't be so humble and shy. You write in the match program. 1 week you're you know, we do have connection with the FAI. I obviously am the club chairman of the London branch. That's why I've got an English accent. And because I have to do that to represent that established club in 1984. And you have to, the only way you can do it is being you know, second, third generation Irish and having an English accent that I have to put on to be the club chairman. And but you know, we have got connections to the FAI. We do try and find out the latest news that we can share with you. And yeah, we've got some fantastic members, of course. And yeah, we do want to follow the team around the world, and that's what we do off our own back. But we are looking for sponsors. We do these live shows every week, and we are actually one of those podcasts, and we are fans who travel to the games. So off our own backs, like you.
I'm a professional journalist here, Martin.
You're a professional journalist, all right? Oh yeah, because look, I go as a fan.
Well, I have the degree, but I don't like to call myself a journalist. I feel a bit. Like that loses.
You go for the love of the team, don't you? And that's the thing. Like, we feel the pain when the team don't do well or whatever. You know, it's very hard to contain yourself when we get good results, as we did in Finland. And you gave me a nice wave that night from your plush seats there. So yeah, but look, we do follow the game, follow the team around the world, home and away. We're at every game. We do live shows from the stadium, all the latest news as well of Irish football. Get your feedback, more importantly. We're the only outlet that lets Ireland fans give us your views, good and bad, your opinions. So we want to have as much support as possible. So make sure, hit that subscribe button, hit the like. It makes a massive difference to us, and it helps us obviously try and get some sponsors to help support us, give more and more content. We hired a studio recently where we had a fantastic afternoon, and we've got lots and lots of things planned with former Irish players and guests. We're going to do some giveaways as well of the new Ireland shirts as well soon when they come out fully. So lots and lots of plans in action, and we need your support. So we do appreciate it. Here's a question from Adam Curtis. What senior Ireland players would you like to see get a move? What up and coming young players would you like to see get first team football to make the Ireland squad in September? I think Kelleher I'd like to see get out of Liverpool, to be honest, because I think he needs to be a number one somewhere. I'd like to see Evan really cement a place where he's going to play week in, week out. It may well be at West Ham, I'm not sure. And yeah, that'd be the key ones for me, I think. You, Connor?
Obviously Callagher, Ferguson, I don't know. I'd like to see Josh Cullen actually, but the thing is, they're probably in the Premier League. But if he wasn't, I'd like to see him go and play in Italy. I think he'd shine in Italy. I'd like to see Jason Knight move on from Bristol City. He's shown this season he's ready to play at a higher level. Azaz, obviously, there's a lot of lads. Collins, I think, is ready to play at a higher level club wise. Who else do we have? We have centre back wise, because there's so many centre backs, you don't know. Like, because if Luton get relegated, Martin Guinness is too good to play in League One at this stage. But they signed him for 10 million last season, so it's kind of a what if sort of situation.
Yeah, but they might have to sell him then, mightn't they? They might have to sell him.
Yeah, so I think I'd like to see Andrew Moore and go to a top European league and shine, show how good he is technically. Who else? I'm trying to think who else do we have. Jack Taylor might actually they'll get relegated, so he'll be all right. Smallbone, I could see him going to a Bournemouth or something like that, but maybe he's not good enough to play for Bournemouth because they're a top side these days. It's hard to know exactly off the top of my head because like Ogbene, you'd probably would have said after he got another full season in the Premier. Oh, Darragh O'Shea, he's ready to make the step up. He could go to a West Ham sort of club and do really well, or even go to Brentford and be Nathan Collins' replacement when Nathan Collins steps it up. That could be the shout for you. I said another one in last week's show. I can't remember who I said that should get a move. But no, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of the Ireland squad here, Martin. And
Ida maybe might get out Celtic if he's not playing regularly enough. He could be one.
I made a prediction about some player where a player was going to go, and I can't remember who it was or where they were going to go. Maybe it was.
Well, you know what you need to do, Connor. You need to go back, like a lot of the Raw faithful who have only just picked up on the show this evening, and listen to the back catalogue and find out what you said, Connor.
I can't remember. Obviously, on Finn Azaz, obviously I said about him stepping up. Also, about players that you'd like to see get first team football, young players. Obviously, Boston. If Rem get relegated, John Patrick step it up. I think Ike Razi, I said it before, I think he'll make his debut for Ireland this year. I think in the summer, whether it's still at Rem or go to a different club, I think we'll see the break out of him because he's a top player. I'm trying to think who else of young players that. Obviously, Andrew Moore and Joe Hodge should probably go abroad because Joe Hodge is a brilliant player and he's like League One. Like he's even like a Luca Connell needs to make a step up from League One. Martin, do you have any advice for me here? Any
Morehouse as well?
Yeah, he needs a move.
He needs to go to loan. He needs to get a loan.
Yeah, he needs a loan. United won't sell him, but you'd hope with first team in pre-season, that's when he'll get his real opportunity at United. I think he will get minutes. So the only thing is, I think he will get minutes before the season. It couldn't be an outside shout that he might make an Ireland squad in June, because when you think of it, United really have nothing to play for at this stage in the Premier League. And if they start getting because I presume they'll beat Lyon in the Europa League, and then it gets further on, and it'll be the priority is winning the Europa League to get Champions League football. And Morehouse, because he's highly thought of by Amarin and he's doing well, he might actually get some minutes for United before the end of the season, might get a start or two. And then you probably think, oh shit, is England going to come in from? And then you call him up the senior squad, which could, you never know, it could happen. And I wouldn't be against it just to solidify himself as an Ireland international. But it actually wouldn't make a difference to his eligibility because he's not 21 yet. And it has to play 3 games unless he comes in and plays like 4 or 5 games. But no, that's off top. People can put in the comments other players, but I just can't. My head is actually Jamie Mullins at Brighton, brilliant player. He'll probably need a loan. He's a player, and I think another player that could next season in the Championship is Romeo Akinchukwu at Southampton. I think he could get a chance next season with them going back down. But now there's so many players that either are ready for a step up or they're might look to go overseas. Even a Troy Power could end up at West Ham, a West Ham type of team. You don't, do very well.
Yeah. And do just on the back of that response from Connor there, I think that's more than worthy of heading to X, following at Rep Tracker. Also put your notifications on as well, because all of his posts, all the time he puts into this, where he notifies us of all Irish players what they're up to. And
Will Ferry as well. Will Ferry,
yep.
Yeah, he'll get a step up, I think, from Dundee United. So, yeah, he can move on. He just came to my head there.
Yeah. We've also got then, obviously, Senegal. We've announced that they're going to be playing Ireland on 6th of June. So, this is Winston Morrison saying they're in a rough patch. Ireland will beat them in June. So, something interesting for that. 7:45 kickoff. Yeah, Nick is of the opinion the match should have been a 5 o'clock kickoff. Nice evening game in the sun, hopefully. I'm a little.
Friday.
Yeah, it's a Friday. Yeah, that's the thing. It would never have been, but I mean, maybe they should have looked to do it on a Saturday, but it doesn't really work out. Yeah, a bit of a pain in the ass, that one.
You
And
better
Grego
be over
does
for
agree with
Friday
him.
morning, yeah.
Well, this is the thing. A Friday night, it can be done. It'd be handy to be able to get back same night, but I don't know if there's a late flight, because that's the thing. There's a Sunday night late flight into London, and it's a good and it's worked
Would you
out
have
very,
a
very
Saturday
well
morning?
before. Yeah, I can do. Yeah, but just I don't want to have to try and bed down with you or Dave somewhere. That's the problem. Here we go from Jack Connor. I'll barely make the game from West Fermanagh anyway. It's all okay for you in the Pale having it at 5 p.m. Yeah, it's not going to happen. And then Nick actually does say, well, it would have been better if it was on a Saturday. But you've got lots of things around. I think I'd expect a bit of clashes with GAA around that time of year. I suppose that could be happening. Alex, very worthy comment. I think I like this. Do we have permission to roar abuse? Can I have your shirt, Mané Brigade? Yeah, all about that. Grego Lockie, Jack, I'm from down south, and it's easy to get public transportation after the game if it was on at 5. And that's something, again, the FAI, obviously, with their coach, they do need to look at the kind of infrastructure and putting on supporters coaches. And one thing I would say, though, anyone who this is my Risk London hat on now, if you are a Irish football fan, and do look at your local Irish supporters club all around the country, part of CRISC, Google CRISC, or check them out on X. You'll find your local supporters club. They run buses, fellow supporters clubs. So you've got lots and lots of branches there, and you can probably jump on with them and join their fantastic supporters clubs. And they do run coaches to the games and stuff. And we obviously convene at the Lansdowne Rugby Club next to the back of the South Stand, basically. And fantastic pre-match entertainment there as well. So it's well worth getting involved with that. Celtic Symphony, is this live? Yep, very much live. And hi, the orange Celtic is real. There is a fake Celtic in blue. Thanks.
I think he's right. I think there was that happened the last day. He put into
there was a few fakers.
Groups. I think the one earlier that subscribed, but thanks to the other Celtic Symphony anyway that subscribed earlier. But I think this is the original. This is the original Celtic that we know and love.
Yeah, that's it. And had some fantastic chats over the previous shows. I'll take Ndiaye's. It was up for grabs.
Everton player.
It was up for grabs in June, says Winston. And then he gets some serious abuse. I won't read the start of it, but why the hell would you want Ndiaye? Senegalese jersey. I'm not for that, carry on. But even though I know you should be chasing a damn Irish one. Yeah, okay. Winston Morrison, we need to get experimental in June. Festi, Madelli, Baz, Abanqua, Patrick, Moran, Lowell, Cannon, all in. There you go.
Agreed.
Yeah. Palace could be selling Adam Morton and Eberechi is for big money, so are likely to be recruiting players. Maybe Finn Azaz, says Deck Finnegan. Nick says Teo is class. Not sure he can play in the back four though. Very attack minded. Teo 2-man says Winston, Morrison, O'Dowda, and Dunn are so painful. What Jimmy Dunn, I think, is a little bit harsh on him, to be honest.
A bit harsh. He's only played was it 12 minutes?
12 minutes of Ireland. Yeah, fantastic as well to see the footage from the FAI. Showing how much that meant and time with his family afterwards. We forget that as well. Like a lot of the lads' families go and watch the games. We can call out the performances as well, but a very proud moment representing their countries. And it's always ironic, I think, when people are in the crowd giving them abuse, having a go at players, and yet that they're living the money of our dreams, to be honest. Here's Jack O'Connor. Anytime I run the numbers, brilliant. I don't know what this is on Championship Manager, is it? Scales is the perfect left back for Ireland. Temperament. High volume jeweler in 1v1s, Roma, quarterback, while being elite on the ball. Top. I mean, this has got to be sarcasm. Surely.
That's sarcasm.
Scales says
I think that's so funny.
Yeah, and Jack O'Connor, what about in English, you spoofer? And that's what,
Go on, Celtic.
Yeah.
Go on, Celtic.
This is what we live for. Scales will need to work hard to get in the squad, in my opinion, says Gregor Lockie, and Lowell needs to leave Stoke, says Alex. Celtic Symphony, this is where I love it when it goes up. This is what it's about. Nearly 1,000 viewers tonight watching. Thank you for a Monday evening. Amazing. Oh, you effing moron. Why the hell you want and die shit? I'm pissed out of my mind, but even I know you should be chasing a bloody Irish one. Leave that tosh alone, you tonser of a fella. Baylor says Bosun to Europe. Surely we should promote lads. Scatter Europe now rather than drop to the League
Agreed.
1 and 2.
Salzburg,
I mean, and
we're
we're
interested
seeing
in
it.
in the summer.
We are seeing these players do it. And I know Brexit's a big factor as well, but, they are. It's easy to watch them. We see all these things. We've got Rep Tracker. No, we did a challenge Rep Tracker, basically. We want them all over Europe, playing at all times of day and night, so it gives them more work.
As long as they're not in Australia or America, signed.
Yeah, well, that's it. Declan Finnegan there just confirming that Villa won the Youth Cup penalty shootout 3-1. 3 misses for Man United. Winston Borison says, Bosun is a proper cage baller. Rumored again. Why is there an English man on this show? I don't know who he's talking about. Baylor, O'Dowda should demote himself to the National League. He's useless. Jason Fitzsimmons, just about the jersey. Will the Sky logo be on just the players' training gear? I'd expect it to be on a shirt as well, to be honest. Unless the FAI want to do a fantastic deal where they release kind of the player issue ones. They may well look at doing that, but look, the last ones are all Sky all over it, weren't they? And obviously, then you do get the.
I can't even remember. Are the players wearing Sky at the moment, or is it not?
They won't in international matches. They won't in matches, but the ones in the shops are all Sky.
All right.
That's what it's about. And we've always had that. We've had Opal, all the free logos and stuff, haven't we? I'm waiting now to see what you're laughing at.
Read the next comment.
Where are we? I'm waiting now.
Winston Morris.
Winston, man, if O'Dowda gave me his jersey, I'm dashing it back. You know what? I'm looking back on my shelf here now. I have an O'Dowda shirt up there. I can't be bothered to get up and get it, but I do. Aren't we all, Winston? There we go. Jack O'Connor.
You forgot to mention, Didsy got an assist the weekend. Baylor, you haven't said it. Didsy got an assist the weekend.
Oh, did he?
What about?
Didn't score well. Yeah, it's all about the.
It's about affecting the game, and he affects it.
Yeah. Okay. O'Dowda, another quality player that is overhated by the Irish fan base just because he has an English accent. Here. Rah. Underlying numbers are absolutely top. Okay.
See, I think it's sarcasm.
Winston Morrison, these tacticals. I don't know what this is all about now. Jack Didsy has.
He's laughing at Jackson.
And he's praised. The difference between Didsy and O'Dowda is that Didsy is actually a good player. As our recent captain and 2020 Player of the Year, John Egan, won his last cap for Ireland? That's a good question.
Sadly so.
Yeah, it's a shame, isn't it? Like, some brilliant moments though as well. In on a shirt, key goals as well, and I'm captain at one stage as well. So yeah, it's sad to see.
There, and just injuries, and
yeah,
he left Burnley as a backup to go play at Hull, and he's a backup at Hull now. So, but he's playing more minutes. But he still is a good player. It's just that the lads are playing a lot of Premier League centre halves, and I don't think he'll ever get back there at his age.
And again, Shane Duffy, I know, has been in and out, hasn't he? We can't rule him out again. But I know he was on the O-League earlier. But yeah, there's a lot. Like we're talking about, like Mark McGuinness being left out of the squad. Omar Bamadeli coming back from injury, hopefully soon. Who've all played and influenced games.
You'd hope Omar Bamadeli be back this week because he was. I think it was meant to be. I think he started training during the international break, so hope maybe they're just easing him back. But hopefully he'll be back. Yeah.
And Baylor here saying, "Don't get cheeky, Prendy." I don't even know what I said. Tyler Dibbling or Azaz, who has a higher ceiling? There's a question for you.
Dibbling, obviously.
Okay. Diddling, obviously. What? I love when everyone starts chatting now. I'm just going to filter them down a little bit because there's lots and lots of chatting there. Here's Harrison Dalglish. Hi, lads. That New Jersey.
Harrison, hope you're well, mate. Good lad, Harrison.
Hi, that New Jersey is pure muck, lads. I'm throwing my neck on the line.
Is that meant to be a hint to the because of the collar on it, the neck on it? Is that, or is he just throwing? I don't think you're really throwing your neck on the line, Harrison. I think a lot of people agree. Well, I've seen a lot of people agree on the home. It's very mixed opinions. A lot of people, I think everyone thinks the away one's very nice, but thankfully, I think it's only for the women's team for people who are against it. And
then there's a lot of chat, just lots of questions between everyone on the comments.
There are for comments questions.
There
are comments.
Are they relevant?
I don't think so. It's an Arsenal fan.
Yeah. Jimmy Dunn could move to Sheffield United at the end of the season, says Dec Finnegan, and I would imagine being an Irish R, Dec is in the know. And Jimmy, to be fair, has a fantastic relationship with the Irish Rs.
They tried to sign him on the January transfer deadline days, but QPR wouldn't sell him for the money they were offering. And fair play to Deck. Deck made his way from commenting on Twitter to commenting on YouTube. We need more like him these days.
Yeah, it's all
an example of society.
I will check that he is a subscriber.
Subscribe.
Not one of the illegal ones. And here we got something sim for me again. Hi, Harrison. I spent the night watching Bray Wanderers and University of Dublin. Max Murphy is a strong player. 2 goals in 2 now. Thanks.
Fair play to you, Harrison.
Question here, Joe 123452 on YouTube. How far away is Patrick Casey from first team breakthrough at Charlton?
He'd probably have to look further afield to get a chance. He scored something like 45 goals last season. Scoring like a hat-trick every game and just didn't get a chance. So he hasn't scored as many this year, so he probably will have to leave, I'd say, to get a chance.
And Harrison Daglish again, some bloke Celta. Swin Harps are starting to pick up place now too. Just a reminder, Connor and David will be doing the League of Ireland show in the next few days. Tomorrow, I think it's coming out.
It'll be up tomorrow night, I'd imagine.
Tomorrow night. So make sure you subscribe and you get notified of that.
Make sure your notifications turned on as well, because you need notifications.
Yeah, exactly. And you get all the notifications. And fantastic again to see you here on a Monday night, listening to us and listening to me read out a load of comments asking for the biggest debate in Irish football that you want to know, or nostalgic Irish football. Again, like, for example, who's better, Bergkamp or the Mighty Quinn? Finn Thorpe, Copa 90s doc on the League of Ireland was unreal. What's the next step for the League of Ireland? Could they be a league to take in their stars past their days? And aren't a bunch of League of Ireland stadiums getting money put into them? As I said, probably cover that tomorrow on the League of Ireland show.
But no, it's a good question, because there's also something we've had, because we just do talk about it. But I haven't seen that Copa 90 documentary yet. I'm going to go watch it after this, because everyone's raving about it. But I'm looking forward to watching it. I think they're doing a couple of episodes on it anyway. But the League of Ireland's just growing and growing. It needs that investment in facilities and academies, getting full-time staff. I think that's the big thing now at this stage, is once you start getting money into academies and getting full-time staff, that kids aren't just training 2 or 3 times a week. It's nearly every day type thing. That's when you see players develop even further, because we see plenty a lot under 15s, under 16s, under 17s. Sometimes it gets under 19s, where Ireland are as good as any country, really. They challenge anyone. And then when it gets to the older ages, when players start signing professional contracts and go into full-time football, our Irish players start lagging behind, because they're just not getting the coaching mind. Because there's a lot of great coaches in Ireland, but they're not getting because they're not full-time, they're not getting the time to work with these players. But I think the big thing is getting the money now and investing in facilities. I think you're right about stadiums. There's a lot of stadiums getting money put into it, and particularly the pitches as well. It's a lot of the pitches are very poor quality. Like UCD's pitch at the moment is an absolute disgrace. Like, they're allowing the rugby team to play on it as well at UCD, and it's absolutely destroyed it. And like, UCD have good footballers for first division, they're very good footballers, but like, they can't play football on that pitch. It's turned into a bog. It's a disgrace, Martin. But I don't know who's behind letting the rugby team play and the football team at the same time, especially this time of year. But it's very odd.
Yep, and that's it. Sadly, it's just facilities, it's money, it's everything we need to see. And again, I'd echo your point there about the coaches. Fantastic coaches doing a great job in Irish football. Often underappreciated as well, grassroots level, but some very, very good coaches, higher level. We've seen Niall O'Regan from the FAI promoting all the coaching badges and things. They have some fantastic guests over there doing the kind of presentations, the PowerPoint ones, Connor. We like them in the FAI, don't we? No, but in all seriousness, I know a few coaches have gone over there from the FAA in England and have done some amazing stuff. Great network in America as well. So, really
like Lee Carsley.
Lee Carsley as well. They've all been involved in it and come through, and we've let them go. It's a shame actually. Just on, not to go off on a weird tangent on it, but to get onto UEFA B and things like that, it's so difficult now. It's costly, but it's really, really difficult. And that's why some of these ex-players have gone and been kind of fast-tracked a little bit, but I like it when lads go through the Irish system. Also in Wales, Scotland, and you hear some amazing kind of stories on podcasts, and I've met some Irish footballers who have got their coaching badges and where they did them, not always in the FAI, but Mourinho was on their course and things back in the day and things. It's crazy.
A lot of people do it up. I've seen Ruben Amorim got his he did his up in Belfast, so a lot of people actually come to Ireland or to go up north. And
a savings to be made as well. And
weird to have 2 different places in one country doing it, isn't it? It's odd to me. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
But you see some great networking with it, and that's what it's about a little bit with the kind of football. I think with the coaching as well, but expensive. And if you're going to do it and go to it, I would recommend people have a go. If you can think you can give something back, but it's a great career now, and it's like back in my day there wasn't a young lad at uni. It wasn't like you can do degrees now in football coaching, and I've seen these courses they do. They do a lot from Wembley actually, and it's brilliant. Like you're mic'd up doing it, and it's all the kind of afterwards the analysis of it. There's just so many jobs in football, and it's only going to get bigger. So, and you can travel the world in football, of course, as we know. Here's a question as well. Do you lads think we could ever see a League of Ireland 11 compete in the FA Cup? Welsh teams are allowed in it. I think the politics would probably be a bit difficult with that.
But it's the Welsh teams that play in the EFL.
Yeah, they're playing.
It's not like
already,
your new Saints. It's if you'd need an Irish team playing in the English system, which I don't think we'll ever see, to be honest. But maybe they could do a special arrangement, get a League of Ireland 11, put them in the FA Cup. It'd be good crack. But if you end up losing in the first round or something to a League One team,
that's the thing. I mean, they try and protect the FA Cup as well. And the other thing, they could do a kind of into Europe kind of competition, but they've tried them over the past, haven't they? And it's about money and sponsorship and interest. I mean, look, even when we tried to do the Celtic Cup, England didn't come in it. It was half full stadiums. No one gave a shite really. People boycotted it. The North boycotted it. The fans really. So it's a difficult one to kind of sell, and that's what's going to be important as well. Do you think Shamrock Rovers can play in the Premier League?
Move on.
Vata says Vata's season football. I think we're getting pumped 6-0 by Senegal, to be honest. I think that will happen. Yeah, sure, we will win. Senegal were full of flash players without any work ethic. 2-0 Ireland.
It will be an interesting one, that Martin, because they have a lot of very, very talented players. A few of them past their prime, like Koulibaly and Mane, but no, they still have like Sarr and Ndai, Ganagay, Nicholas Jackson. I think Jackson actually, I think that's when that Club World Cup's on. I think Chelsea are in that, and so I think he'd be away. Would be like play, and they play England, isn't it? A couple of days after. So as we know, their main focus will be on the second game against England, making sure all the star play that day. So they might have I don't know what the rest of few boys in the first game. They still will have a strong team because they have a lot of talent, but I think we can beat them at home. We can definitely beat them at home. It's not an if. I think we definitely can. It's just the matter of showing up and hopefully not having full backs playing on the wing. We need proper wingers playing that day. But no, it should be an interesting tie.
It will be interesting to get the squad picked, who's eligible, who's available, obviously, and wants to kind of be there as well, and also the kind of plans for this kind of expected kind of group meet up. This is the first time, is it since Nigeria? I think first African side come to Dublin.
The first to play in the Aviva anyway. The first to play in the
Aviva, yeah. But since Nigeria, was it 2002 before we went to the World Cup? I'm looking forward to meeting the glorious Senegalese people. Superb passion for their national team, despite having so little at home. I'm not sure how much they're going to travel, to be honest, but there will be a local contingent. No, but there will be a local contingent, I'm sure.
I've actually never met someone from Senegal in Ireland, so I don't know how many of them there will be, because in big cities but in Monaghan, I've never met anyone from Senegal or on my travels. Have you?
I remember a very famous Irish footballer said to another famous footballer, if you love Senegal so much, why don't you go back there? Do you know who that was?
No.
Roy Keane to Vieira. Goes on about Senegal all the time. That was the thing in the tunnel, the Highbury.
Oh.
If he loves it, not go back there. I'll stand corrected on that. Not go back there like that. It was more, if you loved them, why weren't you playing for them?
Was Vieira born in Senegal or his parents?
Yeah. Senegal. Vata season. Kenny grinds out a 1-0 loss against Senegal. Hal Grimsom's football's too open. It'll be a 5+ easy. Jack O'Connor just confirming that his wife is from Mozambique. We're just going to edit a few of the other ones. And yeah, that's it, I think, from the comments this evening.
Let's say about the Victor. Say Victor's second name. I want to hear you try and say it.
All right, 1 minute. Where's that one?
It's up. It's on the screen.
Yeah. Victor Argentina.
Oh, that's not a bad attempt.
There you go.
Yeah, I want to hear
Wrong.
Dave say that now.
We want to hear Dave say that. Look, someone too fast. Track into the scene for June. Quality operator. Look,
Winston had the right reply.
Yeah, Victor's like 15 Chapman.
Calm down.
Jesus.
Right, he's very good player. Fairness, Victor's top player, but it's very, very early for a lot at that age.
Yeah. Right. This is us, Lansdowne ROAR Live. Thank you on a Monday evening. We've got just under 1,200 viewers, and really do thank you all for your support. Make sure you have subscribed to the show.
Before you leave, make sure before we end this live stream, make sure just click the like button. Just click the like button and click the subscribe button. It'd mean a lot.
It does mean a lot. And be sure to catch the lads chatting about the League of Ireland the next tomorrow evening. That'll be dropping. And we can catch up with us next weekend as well. Lots of input from you. It's really, really appreciated. Want your feedback, any ideas, anything you want us to chat about. We are open to that as well. We love chatting about football nostalgia, Irish football, the glory days under Big Jack, under Mick, all the legends. Of course, we've done legend shows last year as well. Got lots and lots of things planned this year. Lots of international window games that we're going to be traveling to, where we do the post-match, pre-match, we do previews, post-window reviews. Everything's covered here on Lansdowne ROAR. We really appreciate your support. So make sure you do subscribe. Follow us on Lansdowne Road, the page, Lansdowne ROAR on Twitter, Connor at Rep Tracker. We really do appreciate your support, as I said. And we are free. We're available. We want to hear you. The ROAR faithful, give us your views on where you think Irish football is. So thank you for your support. Connor, anything before you want to go?
It's been great with you tonight. It's good to not have Dave on board, but no, we'll move on and don't doubt me.
Don't doubt Connor. There you go. All right. I look at him putting up. Did you just put me out? Pretty out. Prendy out. Look at that. Give me own abuse. Own abuse. There you go. Thanks very much, everyone. Good night. God bless. And come on, you boys in green.